This is Nathan from EvTrack. I'm in charge of sales and marketing.
Hi, I'm Johan Hannekom, in charge of development.
Today we're going to talk about our latest integration, which is between Access, SAFR and EvTrack. This provides an excellent facial recognition, visitor and access control solution.
We're going to give you a quick technical demo of how to set it up, how the integration works, and what to expect. Our software runs on either on-premise or in the cloud. We have a full access control suite of functionality and as well as a visitor management component that allows you to utilize either Android kiosks in the self-service application or handheld devices in a managed application, or if you needed to have registration via web links, you can have that for your visitors. We also have a full portal that allows you to set up the access control functionality, manage profiles, upload users, upload their photographs, and manage them within our platform. The way the integration works is that we've got an access door station, the SAFR server running on a hardware platform server, and our EvTrack software either running on-premise or in the cloud. All personnel records or face photographs are pushed to the SAFR server, and the SAFR server streams RTSP stream from the camera, record and process it, and once an match is made, that event is then pushed back to EvTrack. Within EvTrack, we have a sort of embedded door controller that allows the schedules and access controllers to be applied, and once access has been granted based on that, we then trigger the relay output on the IP door station. Firstly, go to configuration, devices. We already have our Access 8207 camera pre-configured for CGI control to control the relay outputs. We're going to add the SAFR server, navigate there, select the SAFR Kobe API, give it a device name and an address, in this case localhost. We're utilizing the default ports. We have the option of selecting an optional CVEC server if that is running on a different host. Specify the API user and password and click Save. So device being added, we've also scanned, made sure that it's available, and we've enumerated the sources that's available on the SAFR server. So in this case here, we've got default camera input from the laptop itself, a Sony camera, a 2N IP Verso, and the Access 8207 IP door station. Next step is to assign the source IDs to an access control point. So navigate to configuration, access control points, select default access control point. We've pre-configured the access door station to utilize output 6, which is a door control relay on an access granted event. We'll go to readers and we'll assign from the SAFR server the Access 8207 source. Click Add. So the device has now been added to our default access control point, and our default access control point is part of our default access control list, which is determining the scheduling and rules. So we've got here a predefined default access control point with a schedule 24/7 or all day. We can add these multiple sources, we can add different schedules, whatever is required for the customer. In terms of scheduling, you can add your own schedules with your different days, starting and ending times. So now that our access control integration is configured, we need to set up a user credential for permanent access control. So in this case here, we go to users, Johan, And I've got a photograph preloaded. Click on Credentials and click New Credential. Select Reader Type, Facial Recognition. If we wanted to set a activation date, i.e. from the credentials being valid for a certain period, you can specify that. Or alternatively, we can just leave the field blank by default to enable it in perpetuity. We can set an optional access control limit, how many times a credential can be used, or we can just leave it blank. Access control list, we want the person to be able to access control default list. Click Save. And our new credentials created, we go to SAFR console, click on People, and our new user is defined there. You can see there that we add a tag called source equals EvTrack. This allows us to interface to the database without interfering with other records that's already been added, so that the EvTrack system can coexist with other systems. I'm going to show you now how it works in practice. So I just want to quickly show you the credential we configured earlier on within EvTrack. It's a permanent, not a visitor credential, it's a permanent credential, meaning that there's no expiry set on it, no use limits. And we literally just go to the device, door open, and doors open. We're going to set up a watch list for our health threat, so we've predefined. Click Add, give it a name, click Enable, Save, and at the moment we've got no entries. We go to the visitor, add them to the watch list. This has been added and is now part of this permanent watch list. Even if the visitor comes back at a later date, as long as his mobile number or ID number or passport number is on the watch list, he'll be re-added to the threat. We'll go to SAFR console, click People, and we can see there my colleague Nathan has been classified as a threat.
Now I'm going to talk about how easy it is to enroll visitors and process them through so that they can get access into their site via the access control doors. So the first application here is via self-service kiosk. So this is an automated process where a visitor can do self-enrollment, send a request to a host to approve them, and host approve them, and then the face credential is created automatically without the visitor having to do anything and pushed onto the access device. So here we are, the person arrives, they go to the kiosk, they enter in their personal details, ID, passport, telephone, etc., any health and safety questions. They then take a selfie with the kiosk. The kiosk processes the image and prepares it for uploading. A message is then sent through to the host with a photograph of the person and some of their details. The host can then approve or deny, and once this is approved, it gets pushed through to the EvTrack server, a credential is created, and the face is pushed onto the SAFR server, all ready to go. So the next process is the access camera, looks for the person. If they're on the EvTrack system, the access camera door station will then output a relay and open the door for them. The same on the exit, their credential will, their face will be shown, the credential checked, and then the door station will open. The credential, because it's a visitor, can also be set to expire after a while and also have a use limit. So all in all, a great solution for automating a visitor to access control process. The next slide I'm going to show you is a manned application where you have a receptionist or a security officer. Your visitor arrives, presents their details to the security officer receptionist. These details are entered. A photograph is then taken with the handheld device. This photograph is cropped, processed, and made ready to upload. Then either a host can approve the person or the security officer can approve them, and that information with the photograph is sent to the EvTrack server and then pushed to the SAFR server, and the access camera is then ready to start looking for those faces. When the face is identified, the access door station opens the door and the person gets accessed. When they come out, they're identified and a use limit can be used up, and they then take it off the system. So, a little bit about EvTrack. EvTrack is an ecosystem that allows different types of credentials to coexist in one system. These credentials can be QR codes, they can be one-time PINs, RFID cards, faces, or even number plates. Obviously, different access control applications have different requirements in terms of the type of credential that's required, and EvTrack is a system that can cater for all of these. Other important part of EvTrack is the fact that it allows you to process both visitors as well as use the system for normal access control. I think everyone knows the great company Axis, one of the world's first IP cameras, still an amazing manufacturer. Today we're going to be talking about or having a look at the Axis 8207, which is one of their flagship door stations. This unit has a 6 megapixel wide dynamic range camera in it. It also acts as an intercom. It has hardware along inputs and outputs and a great weatherproof rating. SAFR from Real Networks provides a top world-class facial recognition solution which allows this process to happen in terms of using an access camera, taking that feed, identifying it, and performing the function. It's NIST tested, provides great speeds. There's optional liveness detection. We also have integration with EvTrack in terms of watchlists that you can create as threats that can be detected. Also, obviously, most importantly, very high levels of privacy and encryption.
Thank you very much for your time. Hopefully we've answered all your technical questions regarding our integration with SAFR, EvTrack, and Axis.
Thank you again, and we look forward to helping you with your next project or application. Keep well.
Goodbye.